I also want to see, that was an emphatic snap. I also want to see what's going to happen in these two games, which are do or die for the Canadian women's national team, as we now shift gears, gentlemen, because we know that they have yet to qualify for the Olympics. The CONCACAF Women's Championship, which was held last summer, was a qualifier for both the World Cup and the Olympics. So they got the job done by qualifying for the World Cup. But you had to win that tournament in order to qualify for the Olympics. They are the defending Olympic champions. You know they want to go back and have a chance to do that. They play a two-legged affair against Jamaica, which I think for many of us prior to the World Cup that wrapped up this summer, we probably would have said the Canadians are the favorites. So I am curious to know if you still think the Canadians are the favorites. Canada knocked out in the group stage. The Jamaican women qualified to the round of 16 for the first time ever. And in the group stage, they did not concede a goal. Only 3 teams in the group stage did not concede a goal. They were one of them. So I'll start with you, Jordo. Are you concerned for Canada? Both those games, by the way, right here, September 22nd, September 26th on One Soccer. Are you concerned?
Very much so. Very much so concerned. I am. I don't think this is you're just going to go and play the Reggae Girls and run them off the park. I don't think so. At Independence Park in Kingston, look, Rebecca Spencer, the goalkeeper, the Swaby sisters at center back. I don't think this is an easy win for Canada at all. They have to come to play. Jamaica held France and Brazil to no goals during the World Cup. They only, Jamaica only scored 1 goal against Panama, but they held France and Brazil to no goals. Like, they know how to defend. They know how to work. I think Bunny Shaw as well is dangerous when she wants to be going up top. So yeah, I think that this also with this Jamaican side, they're galvanized, like they're working together. And just who knows what type of Canada we'll see coming out of the gate, but yeah, I'm very much concerned. I don't know if you guys are, but I am.
Wheels, where are you on that?
If there is concern, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. You talk about Jamaica not conceding during the group stage. They only scored 1 goal, and it came against Panama, who's not necessarily a world beater here. And entering this World Cup, they conceded 6 against France, 4 against Brazil, 5 against Japan, 7 against Spain. So was it just a really good run in a tournament where some cagey football was being played? By the way, Canada also beat Jamaica in 2022 3-0. In 2020, which wasn't that long ago, beat them 9-0. So does that speak to more about your lack of faith in this Canada team? Because Jamaica, yeah, you're right. They're really good defensively, but I mean, there's nothing in attack. Like, take the under in these games, because this is a matchup between 2 teams that just struggle to create from an attacking perspective. With that being said, if we think that Canada is going to lose here, not qualify for the World Cup at the hands of Jamaica, wow, that would just be a true shock to me. Canada have to be considered significant favorites heading into this tie.
I definitely think it's recency bias given how, it went at the World Cup. And let's not forget, I mean, Canada 1 goal from open play with Adriana Leon as well. So are both these goals going to end up in draws, or are we going to end up seeing penalty kicks? I don't know what you're feeling here, Ollie.
Well, I think it is a different Jamaica side. Like, I tend to be a bit more aligned with Jordan on this one. Like, okay, you can... On paper, you look at the history of the results, it should be a Canada win. There's no question about that. Canada have won 9 out of 9 against Jamaica. The all-time score is 60-1. Like, that's how one-sided it's been. And like Will said, it was 9-0 only a few years ago. But it's a different player pool now with some of the dual nationals that have come in, similar to the men's sides. And they're difficult to beat. And even in that 3-0 win, I was there in Mexico for that game. It was a team that was much tougher defensively, much more resilient than we've seen in the past. And okay, the scoreline sounds pretty comfortable, but it was only later in the game when Canada really pulled away in that match. And then you see them continue to build on that and have the record they did at the World Cup: clean sheet against France, clean sheet against Brazil. Like, that's dangerous, right? When you go into a 2-legged tie and you've got a team opposing you that can be very difficult to beat, that can keep clean sheets, it makes the margins very fine. All it takes is 1 moment. And okay, this Jamaica team hasn't been scoring a lot of goals, but they do have a world-class striker in Khadija Shaw up front who's capable of making a difference. So it's a dangerous tie for Canada. I think if there's any kind of vulnerability or any kind of lack of confidence in the Canadian group, they could be in trouble pretty quickly. And I think this is going to be a real test.
Wow.
I think it has more to do between
No
the ears
faith.
as well.
No faith
I
in
think this is
Canada.
a team that has a ton of skill. I think this team on paper, when you look at them, I mean, again, Adriana Leon can score. Haidema, obviously the question has always been against, can she do it against top 10 teams? But Jordan Haidema has looked so much better ever since she made the move back to North America. Chloe Lacasse, looks fantastic. We had Evelyn Vienne up there. You have Jessie Fleming in the midfield. This is a team that has a lot of talent and on paper should get it done. But again, I think it's also between the ears. And I think a lot of us were shocked at the World Cup. It was a 0-0 draw against Nigeria. Like I said, being able to beat the Republic of Ireland. And it was, great goal there too by Leon. And, they ended up winning that one 2-1. But then all of a sudden it just completely fell apart against Australia 4-0. And I think that's what it is more than anything, even for myself here, Wheels, it's the last thing that happened to them. Can that be erased here more than anything?
But they're Olympic champions. If you can't get up for this, I don't know. Like, to me, that would have screamed reset. Like, hit the reset button.
Hopefully.
We need to do things differently. So what's the message? I mean, Bev Priestman was given the vaunted vote of confidence, whatever that means. I was, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that there wasn't more calls to say, hey, it's time for someone else to step in. And they have some big decisions to make about some experienced players in this team that continue to underproduce when they play for the national team. And Andy, it's fine if you list off those players, some good talent, but collectively haven't played well for the past couple of years in terms of their attacking football. Defensively,
but that's the point
fine. But at the same time, Jamaica has very similar issues in terms of their attack. They have a couple of really good players in attack, but they fail to create. They really struggle to create goals. So take the under here. And if Canada can't find a way to win this, wow, that would be a complete shock to me.
Well, I mean, when they came out of the World Cup in 2019, they played better teams in the first window afterwards. I think it was Japan and Brazil, but they were awful. They got smashed. And if there's any kind of hangover or any kind of fragility after a disappointing World Cup, still not entirely sure personally about the future of Bev Priestman, whether it's the Federation's decision or her decision to move on. If there's anything there in the camp, they're at risk. Like, this is a Jamaica team that is now capable, I think, of capitalizing on that.
Well, we'll see. Like we mentioned, September 22nd, September 26th, right here on One Soccer. Also, a shout out to anyone out there who happens to be in the Toronto area, although already based on Twitter, it sounds like some people have purchased tickets and they're flying in. The Voyagers, in partnership with One Soccer, on September 25th at the Craft Bar in Liberty Village, we will be hosting a panel on women's soccer. September 25th, I will be there. I'll be alongside Diana Matheson, Amy Walsh, Rian Wilkinson. Very exciting. You boys better show up. All right. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some women's
25th.
footy, and let's get ready for that game on the 26th at Field in Toronto.